The second episode of GTA 6 Screenshot Analysis is here. In this episode, I'll be taking a detailed look at the remaining 5 official character screenshots, most of which are centered around the High Heels Red Star Jack nightclub. Heh. In the next episode, I'll start introducing the 6 major regions of the GTA 6 map one by one, so please don't hesitate to support me. Let's get GTA 6 started. Next up is Bobby Eck, the owner of the Red Star Jack nightclub. In the concept art, he's wearing a pilot jacket with a Viking-style ram's head design, covered in gold accessories, and has 3 chains around his neck. One of the chains features a vinyl record, hinting at his involvement in the music scene. On his left hand, his index finger has a tattoo in Gothic script that says love, along with a red heart, which might be a reference to his name. In the middle, there's the Jack nightclub logo's crown, and on his ring finger, he wears an exquisite lion ring. We'll set aside the crown ring for now. The background shows the second floor of the Red Star Jack nightclub, which was leaked in 2022. On the left, there's a seal with the word twerk written on it, though the last letter is blocked. Twerk refers to a type of dance, so it might actually say twerk out. It's most likely a combination of twerk and workout. The line below says Tuesday, so it probably means there is a twerking event on Tuesdays. But why is twerking so popular in GTA 6? I will get to that in a moment. The eye poster of the woman in the background looks a bit like the classic cover girl from GTA Vice City. In the leaked video, you can also see that to the right of this wall, there is an NPC with dreadlocks, who might be a teaser for a character similar to Little Jacob. Obi's teeth are gold, and the connection of his glasses frame also appears to be gold. The tattoo on the back of his left hand is a rose. Later, we'll see Bobby's first screenshot, where he's sitting in his office holding a stack of cash. You can see palm tree patterns on the bills, which really fits the Vice City vibe. Take a look at the tattoo on his right hand. The back of his hand has a money bag, which reminds me of the days when players used to spawn money bags everywhere in public sessions. This tattoo will appear again later, but not on him. There's a diamond tattooed on his pinky finger. On his ring finger, there's a musical note. On the middle finger, a bullet. The index finger, as seen in the next image, has a Gothic-style H combined with a club symbol, which might be related to the Jack of Hearts. And the club is most likely a trend in the Haiti area, as it appears in a lot of Haitian graffiti. At this moment, there's a pistol on his table, identical to the one in Lucia's screenshot. Its design is a hybrid of the SIG P320 and Glock, a polymer handgun. The entire gun is decorated with gold, and the grip features a dotted texture. But most importantly, there's a small device at the rear of the pistol's holster. This is a common Glock-style illegal modification, commonly known as a Glock switch. Activating this device can instantly turn the pistol into a fully automatic weapon with an extremely high rate of fire. Now, take a close look at this. This is the incredibly rapid rate of fire you can expect to see once the full auto Glock switch has been successfully activated. So according to US federal law, it is illegal for civilians to possess such devices, and it's considered a felony. But what's outrageous is that because this illegal modification part is only the size of a coin, and comes in both metal and plastic, for so many years, foreigners have still been able to obtain it through illegal websites, such as pretending to buy necklace toys shipped from China, or even by directly 3D printing it themselves. Of course, what I want to say is that this once again proves that the deep weapon customization in GTA 6 can let you empty a magazine. The office is located on the second floor of the Red Star Jack nightclub, and the door is the same as the one in the leaks. Behind it, there's an exquisite picture frame with a sunflower decoration in the middle. There's something written on it about a party, maybe after party, and below that is the name of the Red Star Jack nightclub. In the next image, Bobby and Drake Priest are standing at the entrance of the Red Star Jack nightclub, and they're still driving the classic Albany yellow Dominator. Although I really like the yellow Dominator, its appearance rate is honestly a bit too high. Bobby's look, combined with the yellow Dominator, reminds me of the big boss Dexter from 2077. At this moment, Bobby is using the same model of fruit phone as Jason, but his is black. You can also see more tattoos. A black kid holding cash, which is probably a reflection of himself. On his right arm are playing cards and dice. The English text below them isn't very clear, but the IK above might be related to his name. Next to Bobby, Drake has 1998 and the number 19 tattooed on his right hand, which also matches the necklace he's wearing. We'll talk about this later. This scene actually appeared in the leaked footage. At this point, Bobby and the other's car should be parked right here. The Red Star Jack nightclub uses Gothic fonts throughout, and next to it, where Bobby's head is blocking, there's a neon silhouette of a woman. Looking at the entrance sign, it says Adult Entertainment underneath. After all, it's a strip club. Minors are not allowed inside. The layout of the stickers on the door hasn't changed much since 2022, but now the lower part is semi-transparent. The sticker on top says you must be 21 years old and mentions that ID verification is required. You can also see this on the convenience store door in trailer 2. Think back, there was also a notice about being 21 in the bar screenshot I introduced last time. So why is it 21 years old? This is because in the United States, the law prohibits selling or providing alcoholic beverages to anyone under 21. Minors should not drink alcohol. Looking further down, you can see a logo. Comparing it to the leaked footage, this spot is exactly where the social platform Snapmatic is located, which further confirms that the heart-shaped icon in the game, which looks like the QQ Mail logo, is actually the new version of Snapmatic. The security guard next to him is still the same as in the leaked footage, but he looks more masculine than the men in GTA 5. The next image probably has the least information. It's just a clearer look at Bobby's earring and gold tooth, and this angle actually appeared in the second trailer. The black man throwing money in the lower right corner looks a lot like Bobby, especially his hairstyle and the way he keeps his beard. Here, the shape of the two eggs is kept, but the glasses and necklace do not match. The earrings are a bit similar, and he is wearing a designer brand. However, this style of beard also appeared in PV1, so it might not be that important. You can see a lot of handprints on the pole in the background. This is even clearer in the Vice City screenshot, and this detail could already be seen in the leaked footage. Bobby's fourth picture is still at the Red Star. At Jack's nightclub, two strippers are giving a lap dance to the big boss, Bobby. Let's look at the details from right to left, one by one. First, there's an NPC wearing a Young Ancestor merch t-shirt. Young Ancestor is a rapper who appeared in GTA Online's Diamond Casino and Resort update. His clothes feature his own logo, and as early as GTA Online, one of his albums had already sold 1 million copies. The shirt here should be his new logo design. If you look closely, the hat on the logo says LS, which stands for Los Santos. It seems that by this point in time, he's already become quite famous. The woman in the blue bikini seems to be the same one who was dancing in the previous shot, but her hairstyle and texture look quite different. It looks like she has a tattoo of a pirate and an octopus on her leg, and she's wearing a see-through fishnet outfit. Looking at Bobby again, he's sitting on the stage where the pole dance performance is happening. His clothes are different from the beginning. They're unbuttoned now. It seems that even the same outfit on NPCs can have various different styles now. The gold watch he's wearing looks like a reverse panda chronograph, meaning it has a black dial with white subdials. The second woman from the left also appeared in the second trailer, with the same tattoos. Back then, she was wearing the same Jack of Hearts nightclub uniform and knee-high boots as the woman serving champagne later on. The perspective in the trailer looks much better than in the screenshot. She has a rose tattooed on her thigh and a peacock on her left arm. She seems to be the one boss Bobby prefers. Just look at where his hand is. The woman next to her seems to be vying for attention. Both of them have manicures with different colored nails. Even minor supporting characters in the game have a lot of outfit changes, which is honestly pretty over the top. In the gap, there's an NPC wearing a t-shirt with a signature on it, probably from a singer or a sports team. In GTA Online, there's a signed football from the Vice City Mambas in GTA 6, which is similar to this kind of signature. The floating dollar bills in the sky have been analyzed before. The president's portrait on the $100 bill is taken from the cigarette card President Franklin in Red Dead Redemption 2, while the $10 bill features Sadius. As for the $1 bill, it seems to be a different version of Franklin. The lady raising a glass, her fishnet gloves and style are different from the others. The champagne she's holding is the bloody brand from the GTA HD universe, which is based on the real-life Piper Heists champagne. This has appeared in both GTA, The Ballad of Gay Tony, and GTA 5. The modeling design here is also quite similar to that in GTA 5. This way of serving alcohol is called bottle service. In simple terms, it means selling alcohol by the bottle, and the waitress will bring it over like this. You can see this in the first trailer. You can often see this scene at the real-life inspiration for the club, the King of Diamonds nightclub. A bottle with a light-up base is considered a more upscale service. A simpler version is just tying a glow stick to the bottleneck. On the far left of the screen, you can also see a hand wearing a lion head ring on the ring finger and dressed in ripped jeans. When I saw this, I thought, isn't this Bellax from the upcoming group, the City Girls? In one scene, she's wearing a lion head ring, which matches exactly with Boss Poppy, and even the ripped spot on her jeans lines up. But here, she's wearing it on her middle finger, while in the shot, it's on the ring finger. This lion ring is similar to Poppy's. Could it be the VIP ring from the Jack of Hearts nightclub? Poppy gives VIP clients an exquisite lion ring to symbolize their status. In another photo. In the screenshot, you can also see that the NPC bystander at the nightclub entrance is wearing a lion ring, and it even seems to have a crown on it. Of course, this is just speculation. Poppy's short video doesn't really have much content. It's still set in the Red Star Jack nightclub. He throws money down from the second floor, and basically, it's just a few shots back and forth. You can't really get the experience just by watching, so it's better to wait for the game to be released and explore the high heels yourself. Next up is Drake Priest, who also appeared as an important NPC in the leaks. From here on, we'll refer to him as Dream. First of all, his concept art shows him at the entrance of the Red Star Jack nightclub, sitting in a new model of the Benefactor Dubster, also known as the G-Wagon. The front of this car is modeled after the Mercedes-AMG G65, including the grille and the emblem, while the headlights filaments are shaped horizontally, just like those on the G-Class W463. As for the bumper, it's clearly the AMG tri-package from Brabus, so I'm looking forward to some deep customization options when the time comes. Dream is wearing a red t-shirt, also covered in gold accessories including earrings, a necklace, a watch, and rings. It feels like this has become the standard outfit in the city center of Zooey. The gold bracelet is made up of skulls strung together, and the necklace says, "Only Raw Records," which is a record label managed by Dream. I'll introduce it in more detail in a moment. The brand of shoes he's wearing is Air, which I introduced earlier. It's an imitation of Nike. So here, he's wearing a pair of AJ1s, but unlike the classic red and white colorway. You can see this more clearly in the following screenshots. Secondly, the hook logo under the Air on the tongue of the shoe is facing the same direction as the pattern on the right side of the shoe, which is exactly the opposite of Nike. This was probably done on purpose. In the second trailer, the shoes Jason is wearing while bench pressing seem to be all white Air Force Ones, and you can vaguely see a hook logo. As for the two women watching Jason nearby, one is wearing Yeezy 350s and the other is wearing a pair of pink and blue AJ sneakers. But actually, in the first trailer, the AJs worn by passers-by still use the old Air logo. Back to Dream. If you look at his tattoos, the number 19 on the back of his hand probably represents his favorite football team, the Seahawks number 19 player. In the second trailer, you can see him wearing a number 19 Air brand jersey, and 1998 might represent either his year of birth or the year the Seahawks football team was founded. But we all know that the prototype for the Seahawks is the Miami Dolphins, who were actually founded in 1965, which is quite far from 1998. So it's highly likely that 1998 is still Dream's year of birth, which would make him 28 years old in 2026. On his wrist are the letters LLN. There's no clue as to what they mean, so we can only guess blindly. For example, it could stand for Live Life Now, which also fits his personality. There's a money bag tattoo on his arm, which is the same as Bobby's tattoo. It might be a symbol of their partnership. This string of English words says stay humble, meaning to remain humble. The person next to him looks like a sailor. From another picture, you can see a lot of stars on it. The first thing that came to my mind was the Eastern fixation from 998, and honestly, it really does look quite similar. Looking at the right arm, there's a palm tree beach, and above it is a logo. From other angles, you can clearly see that the logo is a manatee wearing a football helmet with VC Vice City written on the helmet, so this is probably the logo of the Vice City Manatees team. On his forearm, there's an infinity symbol tattoo, which was previously seen in Bobby's screenshot. He's wearing clothes with an infinity symbol pattern, so it seems he really loves this symbol. There's a peace sign tattoo on his elbow, which matches the dove tattoo at the end of his sleeve. And there are some other details we'll talk about later. First, let's look at Jay's first screenshot, which is still at the Red Star Jack nightclub. Jay is performing here with the rap group Dollars, along with Balax and Rosie. The person on the left is Rosie. The R necklace on his neck stands for Rosie, which already appeared in the first trailer. On the left side of his chest, he has the Dollars group logo tattooed. The person on the right is Belax, who appeared in the second trailer. He's wearing glowing glasses, has a mandala-style tattoo on his abdomen, and the group name Dollars tattooed on the right side of his chest. The two of them are wearing outfits that are basically the same style but in different colors. Though there are slight differences in their tops, they both have distinctive manicures, which we'll talk about later. Most of the people gathered around Dollars here are girls. You can tell just by looking at their manicures. Also, in the first trailer, most of the comments in the live stream were from girls. It seems like their most passionate fans are mostly female. In the next picture, Jay is at a pool party. This gathering is clearly more upscale than the one in the northern part of the city, and it's probably at a hotel near Drunk City Beach. There are also more beautiful women here, and honestly, the high heels are even more eye-catching than the women themselves. The neon sign in the background says something like "Something Dreams," which gives off the same vibe as when Arthur and the gang attended an upper-class party in Red Dead Redemption 2. At this moment, Jay isn't wearing the record company's necklace, which could mean this was before the company was founded, or maybe he just wanted to keep a lower profile at this kind of party. The tattoo on the back of his hand says, "Victory and defeat are common in a soldier's life," which once again highlights his easygoing and adaptable personality. The next photo has even less content. Once again, we're back at the Red Star Jack nightclub. Jay strikes the same pose as Lucia, holding a plastic cup on the second floor of the club. There's nothing particularly important here, but there's a lot more to talk about in the fourth picture. First of all, the scene has changed to their Pure Sound Records studio. On the table, you can see the nameplate of the music company, which matches the pattern on Jay's necklace. The tattoos on Jay have already been introduced, so I won't repeat them here. At this moment, he's wearing the same Irish jersey as in the second trailer, including the same style of hat. Looking at the later part of the video, you can see the full design of the hat. At the top, it says Basketball League, which is probably modeled after the Miami Pro Basketball League. In the middle, it says Championship Champion, and below that, it imitates the real-life Miami Heat basketball team. Finally, it features the logo of the Narcos team, a basketball with flames. The hat brand has been introduced before. It's OG, a classic hat brand from GTA 5. The blue-green color of the brim also represents the team's theme color. Now let's take a look at the producer at the mixing desk. The bandana tied on his head is the same style as Lucia's mask from the first trailer, but in black. The original design is a paisley patterned bandana. He's wearing a baseball jacket, and the back probably says Buster, which gives off a gangster and street vibe. There's also a cup of machine-brewed coffee on the table, and the mixing console here is clearly much more advanced than the one in GTA 5. The digital audio workstation DAW software on the screen looks like a hybrid of the real-life recording programs FL Studio and Pro Tools. At this moment, $sign is probably inside recording, with some people watching from outside. Jay's short video shows him taking $sign to the recording studio. Why do I say it's a recording studio? Because on the left, the recording sign is lit up in the upper corner of the room, which usually means that a recording session is in progress in the studio and entry is prohibited. At this moment, you can see the watch he's wearing, which closely resembles the gold version of the AP Royal Oak. There's also a tattoo of a J with a red heart on his left thumb, which might be a reference to the Red Heart Jack nightclub. Looking at the tag below his shirt and comparing it to the real-life Nike Dolphins jersey, you can see that the logo on the far left is designed to mimic the NFL National Football League logo, and it looks a bit like a die. On the far right is the Nike logo, but in the game it's replaced with the Avist logo. The Mizutodo sisters in the back are probably wearing a modified version of the outfits they wore during their livestream in the first trailer. The style is basically the same. On the wall behind them, there's a vinyl record called Bass Time. The cover is hard to describe, and the album might be expressing the era of bass or bass age. The word time might be intentionally misspelled, as the correct spelling should be time. It's clearly a tribute to the golden age of funk music in the 1970s. Next up is the group Majin Duoji. Their concept art features the Ocean View Hotel as the background, which can be clearly seen in the first trailer. The second trailer also shows the inside of their pool party, with many bikini-clad women dancing on the rooftop. The hotel is modeled after the Cleveland Hotel on Miami Beach. In the concept art, Majin Duoji stands on the rooftop across the street from the Ocean View Hotel, which is actually the Art Deco Center by the beach. This building was also shown in the leaked footage. Let's first take a look at Ruxi on the left. She has two dog chains, one with an R on it, which we just saw. She actually has another one with double R's, which might represent both Ruxi and Majin Duoji, since both names start with R. The other necklace simply has her name on it. In such hot weather in Drunken City, wearing a fur coat every day, I feel hot just looking at her. She really knows how to keep up her style. She also has a nose ring, and because she wears so much, you can't even see her tattoos. You can only see that both of her arms are tattooed with floral and plant designs. On her right eyebrow, she has the word blessed tattooed, which basically means a blessing like God bless you. As for the Majin Duoji group logo on her chest, I won't repeat that here. Looking at Bellax on the right, her necklace also has her own name on it, with the abbreviation BL for Bellax. On her left thigh, there's a tattoo of a young girl holding a teddy bear in her left hand and an M4 in her right hand, dressed provocatively, giving off a kind of battle loli vibe. It's obvious that she's depicting herself. On the left side of her chest, you can see a string of Gothic letters, which should be her name, Bellax. The tattoo on her left arm is still unclear, and as for the other tattoos we've already talked about, I won't repeat them. Interestingly, the two of them are wearing different animal prints for their underwear. One is leopard print, the other is tiger print. Plus, Bella's manicure is also done in a tiger print style. Their outfits are all carefully designed, and it's clear that they both really like Kurisu. Let's look at their first photo. It's of Bellax sitting in a recording studio. You can see that there isn't the tattoo from the previous concept art on her left chest. After all, that was just a concept drawing. On her left arm, you can see the tattoo Flaw, which should be flawless in full, meaning perfect and flawless, which fits her character. She's wearing an oriental style jacket, which we just saw earlier. It's embroidered with a phoenix and plum blossoms. Her manicure is different on her ring finger compared to the other tiger stripe nails, so maybe the nail art can be customized separately. the fingers. Now let's take another look at the equipment at the venue. The speaker on the far right is from the brand Sumo. This brand has been around for quite a while. It first appeared on the protagonist Claude's pager in GTA 3, and later showed up in both GTA 5 and GTA Online. You can even spot speakers from this brand in the recording studio in GTA Online. In the scene with Wenwu in the first trailer, you can also see an air conditioner outdoor unit with the Sumo logo on it. The brand's prototype is mainly based on Sony, but because its design covers such a wide range, it also draws inspiration from Samsung, Panasonic, Philips, and others. At this point, the headphones Bella is holding are clearly different from the Beat-Off brand headphones in the GTA HD universe. These should also be Sumo brand headphones, seemingly a fusion of several monitor headphone models from Audio-Technica, Sony, and others. You can see L and R on the headphone hinges to distinguish left and right, and there's also a different logo visible on the side of the headphones. The electric fan on the left is from the brand L-Aid, which is a new brand. Fans are still quite common in Leonid Estate. The wall behind the recording studio is covered with tape marks from torn down posters. These two-frame posters look like records from celebrities. There are two cables hanging on the wall below, labeled Dual RCA, meaning Dual RCA. RCA is a connector used to transmit audio signals, commonly known as Lotus Head or AV plug. Since stereo sound requires two channels, that's why it's Dual RCA. There's also a package placed upside down on the table. If you flip the image, you can see the tape watermark on it says Sahara and Mirage. The name Sahara also appears on the Narcos team's basketball arena, which is modeled after the Miami Heat's home court and is called Sahara Arena, likely named after the Sahara brand. The Sahara brand is very likely a parody of the logistics company and online retailer Amazon, and its affiliated Mirage branding is probably a spoof of Amazon Prime services. Both of these names refer to the Sahara Desert in North Africa, which mirrors the real-world Amazon brand and the Amazon rainforest in South America. Truly a case of great minds thinking alike. The second screenshot should be very familiar to everyone. It's the scene from the first trailer where two girls are standing on top of a car live streaming. Now if you compare them, the level of completion is worlds apart. There are also some differences between the girls' outfits and the concept art. Ruxie's pants have added rips and leopard print patches, and you can see a butterfly tattoo on the inside of her thigh, which already appeared in the first trailer. As for Bellax, the rips on her jeans have switched sides between the left and right legs, possibly to better showcase her tattoo. The purple car they're standing on is a brand new AOB model, which appears to be based on the second generation Audi S7. Its headlights are inspired by the Skoda Superb P8, and the fog lights in the side grille borrow from the design of the 2012 to 2017 Audi S5. The background buildings have been introduced before, so I won't go into detail again, but you can see that some balconies have special lighting decorations. Next, let's take a look at the screens of the phones held by the people around. There are a total of 3 phone screens. We've already seen one of them, another one is hard to make out, and it seems like the content on the screen is overflowing beyond the phone's display, almost as if the texture is misaligned. Let's focus on the live stream screen on the phone. The GTA 6 community documentation has also speculated and recreated this phone screen, and I've finished translating it into Chinese. Here's the thing, the app used to watch the live stream should be Snapmatic, but its UI is completely different from the version shown in the first trailer. The new interface adds a bottom tab bar similar to those on TikTok and Instagram. Also, if you look closely, the image on the phone is different from the actual movements of the woman in the scene. This is probably because it's showing in-game time, and the live broadcast within the game has a delay, just like in real life, but it's not certain. She could just be commenting on a photo right now. We need more information to confirm this, and we still don't know exactly what gameplay elements are involved with live streaming. There's also an NPC in the scene holding a fruit phone and wearing a lion ring, so maybe his identity is special. The guy on the right is wearing clothes that look a lot like Dre's, but the accessories clearly aren't his. As for the shoes and the location, they've already been introduced above, and I'm sure everyone is familiar with them by now, so I won't go into detail. In the next screenshot, Rosie is driving with Dre as her passenger. Anyone who plays GTA 6 often will definitely recognize the chain link fence and the buildings in the background, especially this tree and the roadblock. You can see this tree in the leaked footage from 2022, so the screenshot is right in front of the Red Star Jack nightclub. The car she's driving is a purple sports car. Isn't this the same Obey they were checking out in the previous image? You can also tell from the shape of the seats, so I won't go into detail here. However, the car's interior also shows some wear and tear details. If you look closely, you'll notice that Rosie's nose ring is gone at this moment. It seems that NPC outfits can have many small customizable details, including a variety of accessories and even makeup. The fourth screenshot shows Majin Duoji recording in the studio. Compared to the previous scene, both of them have have changed into new outfits. Rosie's nose ring is back, and she's also wearing headphones, though they're partially covered by her hair. It also looks like Rosie has gotten a new manicure. Balux is wearing the same LED light-up glasses and lion ring as before. There isn't any other useful information. Much of it is repeated, so I won't go over it again. The vibrant short video of Majin shows them performing at the Red Star Jack nightclub. The rendering effects for hair and fur are truly impressive. As mentioned earlier in the screenshots from Bobby, twerking is extremely popular in Z City, and Red Star Jack hosts twerking events every week. This is because its prototype, Miami, is one of the best cities in the US for nightlife. With the prevalence of Black and Latino cultures, their traditional dances place a strong emphasis on rhythm and body movement, and twerking is an evolution of these traditions in the American South. Many dancers, models, and rappers from Miami upload twerking short videos on TikTok and Instagram. The real-life prototype of the Majin duo is the rap group City Girls, who even collaborated with Cardi B on a song called Twerk. So Rockstar has very cleverly integrated these classic Miami elements and iconic figures into the game. Next up is the bank transporter Laval Batista. First, looking at the concept art, the background is clearly the Wynwood Art District in Z City, which is the graffiti-filled neighborhood from the first trailer. Next to it is a graffiti wall themed around beautiful women and butterflies. There are quite a few butterfly-themed graffiti pieces in the Wynwood district, and the emoji graffiti in the background may have been inspired by the emoji-themed wall created by Chicago artist Brandon. The container building behind Laval is most likely based on the real-life tower bar in the Wynwood Art District, a colorful tower located in green container yard, but in the game, things are obviously much bolder. The containers are stacked haphazardly and could easily fall down. The containers also have My Life written on them. Leva is the classic suit-wearing thug, paired with leather gloves and a leather bag. Clearly, he's about to pull off something big. First, let's look at the first screenshot. Lavor is in a dimly lit room, and the phone he's holding is clearly the same model as Lucia's. In the background, there appears to be a hacker. It seems like they're plotting a heist where they get everything for free. The second screenshot shows Lavor just getting into a car after robbing a bank, with a bag of cash on the passenger seat. So which unlucky bank is this? There's a sign at the entrance that says something like M Bank. If I remember correctly, in the second trailer where Jason enters the city, you can see a bank called LOM. Actually, this is an old acquaintance of ours. It has appeared quite a bit in both GTA 4 and GTA 5, with plenty of scenes and buildings. Take a look at the logo. The LOM at the front is in bold, matching the one in the screenshot. And in the 2022 leak, we could observe the shared bike system up close, right in front of it. Now, some people might ask, what does this have to do with the bank? Because you can see the LOM Bank logo on the shared bikes, it's pretty clear that the bikes at the front are sponsored by this bank. In reality, the prototype for this shared bike is called City Bike Miami, which is a bike sharing system deployed in the Miami Beach area. It was renamed City Bike because Citibank sponsored it, and LOM Bank in the game is modeled after Citibank, so it makes perfect sense that LOM Bank sponsors the shared bikes in the game. Now, looking at Lamar again, he's wearing gloves and has a mask that he just pulled down around his neck, which is quite eye-catching. The pistol he's holding is the same one Jason used in the trailer when he went to Uncle Jack's liquor store for a 5-finger discount. It appears to be based on the Colt M1911, with the trigger guard design inspired by the Beretta 92 FS, and the barrel engraving inspired by the Staccato 201 Series M1911. There's also a red dot sight mounted on the gun. The manufacturer of the pistol is called Capo, which imitates the real-life Staccato firearms brand. The logo and font are quite similar. In the game, the name likely comes from the Italian word capo, which usually refers to a boss or leader in the mafia. The name might also have another layer of meaning, referring to the slang for putting a bullet up someone's ass, hinting that they're gun manufacturers. That's very Rockstar. Looking at the car's interior, from the dashboard, steering wheel, and gear lever design, it's pretty clear that its prototype should be the 2006 to 2009 Mercedes-Benz E-Class W211. There's an airbag warning on the sun visor. It's hard to say if this feature actually works in the game. What's more important though, is the display on the car's multimedia center console. But in another screenshot, we can see the exact same multimedia center console. Could it be just a texture with no actual functionality? The community kindly recreated the interface, and if you look closely, it includes features like calls, music, navigation, air conditioning, and seat controls. But again, it's not certain whether these are interactive features in the game. Let's just get a basic understanding for now. In the upper right corner of the image, there's a skull billboard, which looks a bit like the classic band Love Fist's skull logo. In the very first concept art, Jason was wearing it. Fista's wristband. The third Laval Batista is located on a luxury yacht, and you can see that the interior of the boat is quite lavish as well, with all kinds of instruments and central controls. The mechanical buttons include functions for the horn, cabin lights, bilge pump, battery, fresh water, navigation lights, trim, and more. At this moment, the watch he's wearing is a very simple dress watch, showing the time at around 5:45, which matches the sunset in the environment. This also indicates that the watches in the game display the real time. At this time, the drawbridge in the background is being raised and the boat hasn't started moving yet. In this scene, Laval is probably just waiting for the bridge to be raised. Near Brickell in Miami, the drawbridge usually rises once every hour at the half hour and on the hour. However, between 4:30 p.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. in the evening, it doesn't rise unless it's for emergencies or government tugboats, because this period is peak traffic time for cars. So at this moment, Laval is probably waiting for the drawbridge to be raised. The attention to detail is incredible. Next to him, there's a small cup with the Cuban flag printed on it, and it looks like it's filled with coffee. Maybe this is a hint that Laval has some connection to Cuba. And his name, Laval Batista, is actually a combination of two important figures in Cuban history. One is Raúl Castro, a key figure in the Cuban Revolution, and the other is Fulgencio Batista, a Cuban officer and politician. In reality, Cuba is located just south of Florida, and there are often some candy trades between the two sides. This is very likely to be incorporated into the game. Looking again at the scene's location, the building on the left basically confirms the spot. It's the stairwell house from the second concept art image. So at this point, Laval is located in the waters south of Brickell, and the drawbridge rising behind it is a bridge connecting downtown to Biscayne Island. In reality, this bridge doesn't exist, and even throughout history, there has never been a drawbridge here. The bridge in the distance is the one connecting downtown to Brickell Quay. The silhouette of the buildings on the far right is what the overlapping apartments on Brickell Quay look like, while on the left is a cluster of buildings centered around the Four Seasons Hotel. The last screenshot of Laval shows him in a white suit paired with a black shirt. This look is somewhat reminiscent of a modern-day Arthur, but his expression and character are more like Dutch, a true mastermind and planner in the city of Vice. Looking at the surrounding environment, players who often play GTA 6 will definitely recognize it. Once again, it's at the Seaview Hotel. As mentioned earlier, this is the location from the second trailer, where he's walking from east to west. The two-story building in the background is the Miami Beach Art Deco Center mentioned earlier, and further back is Vice City Beach. You can also see a helicopter in the sky. The pedestrians in the background once again confirm our previous assumption. NPCs can walk together with their arms around each other's shoulders. But I have to say, there are even more beautiful women here than there are women in high heels. Laval's short clip is the most intense one. He, Jason, and Lucia rob a bank together. Judging by their outfits, this is the SMB, San Frontera National Bank from PV2, a new bank in the GTA HD universe. Its prototype should be the Florida City National Bank, and from the building shown in the footage, it should be located near Brickell Island. In reality, there is a Florida City National Bank in Miami's Brickell area. Comparing the interior to the prototype, it's definitely this one. It's located in the Miami Four Seasons Hotel mentioned earlier, across the street. Now, some people might ask, hey, the exterior of this bank looks completely different from the building in the footage. That's right, because the building shown in this scene is actually based on 1401 Brickell Avenue, which is diagonally across from the bank. This suggests that in the game, the characters shoot their way out from the side of the bank and escape to this location, just like the big bank heist in GTA 4. Also, there's a flagpole next to it, matching the one in the game, although the flagpole's material looks more like the one at the entrance of the Four Seasons Hotel. The three flags here have the American flag on both sides, and in the middle is the flag of Leonida State, which we've seen before on the police badge. Looking at their gear, they're all carrying the same crossbody bag that appeared in Carl's screenshot. Here, Laval is holding an MCE Block 2, equipped with quite a few attachments, but he's using iron sights. The watch he's wearing is modeled after the AP Royal Oak chronograph. Seriously, if you're wearing a watch like that, why would you even need to rob a bank? Also, Laval has the habit of keeping his index finger along the frame of the gun, away from the trigger, which shows that he has received professional firearms training. According to GTA 5's background, he's either a professional criminal or a retired soldier. Here, Jason is holding the Colt M4LE 6920 carbine, as seen in previous screenshots of him, which is different from the MP5 submachine gun in PVR2. Maybe he picked up an enemy's weapon during the fight, or it's a backup weapon prepared in the trunk. Jason's crouching and fighting posture here is clearly professional, much better than what we saw in the leaks. This also confirms once again that the game has a crouching mechanic. Here, they are being surrounded and have taken off their masks, which suggests their identities and information have already been betrayed, leading to a direct ambush, kind of like in GTA 4. Take a look at the vehicle next to them. This is a classic Ford Crown Victoria police car belonging to the Miami Police Department. It has already been featured several times in previous trailers. With its white body and blue stripe along the side, you can clearly see the Vice City Police Department badge here. The emblem in the center is also the city crest of Vice City. In later screenshots, you can also see the same emblem at the bus stop. It's a palm tree bent by strong winds, which is modeled after the design in the Miami City crest. The way Lavoie touches the car is actually pretty smooth. The car he's touching looks like an SUV from the Benefactor series. Judging by the grille and headlights, it resembles the Benefactor Serrano, but the grille actually looks more like the old Obey. There's also a new model Benefactor Dubster parked behind, and on the left, the burning car is a Benefactor Shafter. The burning effect of the vehicles is also quite interesting. Unlike GTA 5, where cars explode immediately after catching fire or are reduced to just a shell after exploding, that's not the case here. The shooting feedback is also excellent. The debris when bullets hit the ground is very detailed, and some of these effects have probably already been incorporated into the enhanced version of GTA 5. Brian Head's concept art is located at his shipyard dock, which is also where the protagonist Jason works. The final scene with Carl in the second trailer, but in the concept art, it's viewed from the inside looking out. Brian's appearance isn't flashy at all, it's just that his outfit looks a lot like Ricardo Diaz's from GTA Vice City. He has an anchor tattoo on his right forearm, there's a map on the table, held down by a box of bullets and a beer bottle. Also on the table are bullets, a small knife, candy, and cigarette butts. If you flip and stretch this map, you can see a partial map that looks like a swamp and archipelago area. But obviously, how would a concept artist know what the actual in-game map looks like? They probably just based it on a real-world area, so it doesn't have much significance. The red lines on the map are probably regional boundaries, for example. Leaving the boundary of the area or the line means failure, while the cross should represent the area where you must not miss. You have to accurately drop the cargo into the red circle or retrieve the cargo from the red circle. Just like Carl sailing a boat to fish out cargo dropped from a plane onto the water. The bullets on the table are from the Fortress Ammunition brand, a manufacturer of ammunition that appears for the first time in the GTHD universe. The beer brand is also new. It's a Mexican beer called Laval, which might also be one of Brian's favorite beer brands. In the first screenshot, Jason is driving Brian's Caracara 4x4 and takes him to the outskirts. It's obvious that the environment is the mangrove swamps, which is also the place where the ominous clouds appeared in the first trailer. Brian has an eagle tattoo on his right shoulder, and the tattoo on his right hand is the same pattern as the one on the left hand in the concept art. We'll talk about that in a bit. Looking more closely, the reflection in his sunglasses is extremely clear. You can see the forest in front of him. The dust effect on the car has reached a photorealistic level, making this one of the most realistic screenshots among all of them. He already wore these clothes in trailer 2, and they'll appear again in the next screenshot, so I won't introduce them here for now. Next to him, Jason is wearing a bulletproof vest. Some people previously said that Jason looks a lot like the undercover cops from trailers 1 and 2, but this should just be an ordinary bulletproof vest. When Jason and Laval were moving cash at the bank, they were also wearing bulletproof vests. The hat he's wearing looks a lot like Chase's red baseball cap from the leaks. In trailer 2, you can see this burger fast food brand on the TV at the Shomao bar in the Islands area, but in later screenshots, you can see that Rockstar made major changes to it. Or perhaps it's not even the same hat. Next, Brian is leaning against the corridor near the bar, which should be the back door of the Shomao bar connecting to the dock, the same place where the two main characters are seen leaning on the railing and drinking in trailer 2. And the two lifebuoys in the distance are exactly from the next shot in trailer 2, where the main characters are sitting on the dock, and the island in the distance matches as well. Now let's look at the vest Brian is wearing, which I haven't introduced yet. It says Kenny Brewster on it, and below that is a rooster driving a car with a few alligators and two birds, one blue and one pink, singing and dancing. There's also a picture of a beautiful woman printed on the car. This image looks like the cover of a singer's album, and the singer Kenny seems to be based on Jimmy Buffett, an American singer-songwriter born in 1946. The red font used on the vest is similar to the one used in Buffett's first greatest hits album, Songs You Know by Heart, and the cover also features several parrots. The small text under the shirt reads, "I have a big truck with your face on it," which is probably the name of the album. In reality, Buffett's albums often have these long and quirky titles like A White Sport Coat and a Pink Crustacean, and Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes, so this can be seen as a tribute. The watch Brian is wearing is a two-tone Rolex Submariner with a black dial, which can also be seen in other scenes. However, in PV2, he wears a Patek Philippe Nautilus, and there's a swallow tattooed on the back of his left hand. What does that mean? I'll explain in a moment. Because he lives and works by the sea, both his nose and shoulders are sunburned, and Jason also gets sunburned. Also, Brian is getting older, so his skin is loose and saggy. The details are spot on. He has the word love tattooed on the fingers of his right hand. And on his left hand, he has the name Lori tattooed, which is the name of his third wife, who is also his current wife, Lori. We'll talk more about her in a moment. There are 3 bottles of beer placed on the railing. From left to right, they are lager beer, which we introduced earlier, Cerveza Borracho, a Mexican beer that just appeared in Brian's concept art, and the last one is Dignity, a Haitian beer. The latter 2 are new brands making their first appearance in the GTA HD universe. You can see all of them in Uncle Jack's liquor store in the first trailer, and their advertisements also appear on city billboards in the trailer. In particular, Dignity Haitian beer shows up on the billboard in the scene where 2 black men meet in Little Haiti, which fits the area. On the far right is still the pilot guy from Brian's shipyard, wearing a purple vest. He has 2 stickers on his head which seem to be feathers. Could it be that he's collecting bird feathers? Below is the silhouette of a jet ski, which is most likely an advertisement for a sea rental project. In the next image, Brian is reminding or warning the pilot. He's wearing the same shirt as in Preview 2, and his glasses are the same as in the first screenshot, but he can choose to hang them on his forehead. I guess the main character can do this too, since he often wears sunglasses and already has noticeable tan lines on his face. You'll see many similar tan line mechanics in the next 2 videos as well. He's holding a pretty large brick of shrink-wrapped candy in his hand, just like he said in his introduction. With the candy I transported on that plane, I could make the whole state of Leonidas float. This is probably the same kind that Carl fished out of the water. The mission might be to bypass the USCG's inspection and transfer the goods by sea and air. You can tell from the shape of the plane's windows that this is a Dodo seaplane, and since it's painted blue, it's the very same Dodo that was coordinating with Carl. In Carl's concept art, you can also see the interior of the Dodo, especially the control yoke, which has been noticeably upgraded. This screenshot is taken at the entrance of the Brian shipyard, where you can see the gate, suggesting that there might be a small airfield here. In the last image, Brian hands a pistol to Jason, and the model is the same polymer handgun that Lucia and Bobby were holding. However, this one doesn't have the Glock switch modification, it's a standard unmodified version. I just mentioned that Brian's outfit looks a lot like Diaz's from Vice City, but Brian himself is probably a good guy to the protagonist. According to the official introduction, Brian found a house of his own for Jason to live in for free, on the condition that Jason is willing to do some extortion for him, and occasionally come over to hang out and have a glass of sangria made by his wife, Lori. Brian definitely sees his younger self in Jason, and even treats him like his own son. This picture, this affectionate gesture, says it all. The lady next to him is his third wife, Lori. She appeared in the second trailer, and there's a thorny rose on her right arm, which also reflects her personality. A tough rose, an older version of a Valkyrie. On her left chest, there's a tattoo of a heart with flowers, pierced by Cupid's arrow, with Brian's name written on it. Remember how Brian has Love Lori tattooed on both of his hands? You could say they're very much in love. And he also has a swallow tattooed on the back of each hand, which probably symbolizes their mutual devotion. Although she's his third wife, she's the only one tattooed on his body. It's clear that Lori is his true love. I can already imagine there will be scenes of him spoiling her. Rolly is wearing a ring on his ring finger. At first glance, it looks a lot like the flag of Leo Daitajo, but it's actually just a beautiful colored diamond gold ring. In this picture, you can see the Caracara pickup truck in the background. There are some stickers on the glass, and the one in the middle is an advertisement for a pet hospital, a plus sign with the silhouette of a dog in the center. Speaking of pets, maybe it's related to the girl with the lizard on her shoulder from earlier. The sticker above, which features a beautiful woman, is really hard to make out, mainly because the car is too dirty. The blue sticker below appeared in PV2. It's actually the sticker from Brian's shipyard itself. The car's tires have very detailed tire model markings, and the brand is Atomic Tires. This is a company that makes tires and auto parts, and it appears in both the 3D universe and the HD universe. Customized tires in GT Online all have its logo printed on them, and the Atomic brand logo also appears on the blimp in GTA 5. The tire specification reads LT265/70R20, which means the tire width is 265mm, the sidewall height is 70% of the tire width, and the rim size is 20 inches. This is quite suitable for sporty rims and off-road tires. It's unclear whether the model markings on the tires will change according to different models. In fact, in other images, you can see that the front and rear suspension heights of the cars are different, which could all be part of the car customization details in the game. I'll talk about that in the next episode. On the far right of the image, there's a sign with an arrow, which is clearly the Arrow brand gasoline. You can also spot it in the scene where the big guy is streaking in the first trailer. This brand has been hinted at since GTA Online. In Brian's short video, his wife Rolly is all geared up and ready for a fight. She seems to be carrying a tactical backpack strapped tightly around her waist, holding an MCE Block 2 in her hands, though it does not have many attachments. There is also a pistol holster on her leg. In this generation, especially the police, there are all kinds of holsters and ways to carry guns. It's hard to tell what brand of hat Rolly is wearing, but if I had to guess, the shape and color scheme are a bit like the Arrow gasoline brand we just saw. On the far right, our pilot guy appears on camera again, while while Brian is sitting in a folding chair drinking E-Cola. This brand is so familiar that I won't go on about it. He's still wearing that Rolex watch, but if you look closely, the time on the watch in both screenshots changes along with the in-game time. That wraps up all the content for episode 2, and in the next episode, we'll start a detailed analysis of the map.